welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Dani and this is Coffee Break with Dani. Today we are here with a mission. We are going to do 10-minute makeup. Will this video be 10 minutes? Probably not. However, I think it's a great idea for all of us to be put up to the challenge to see if we actually have a 10-minute makeup routine down pat, if we have a routine that simply cheers us up, if we have a routine where we wake up late but we still want to look put together. Do we have a routine where we figured out all of our favorite products that simply just make us feel like the best version of ourselves? Now, while I would love to invest an hour to put on a whole 7 pounds of makeup on my face every day, A, it's not me anymore. B, it's not realistic. C, we have face coverings that we have to wear if we need to leave the house. And it's just one of those things where if you can take your natural beauty and just, I don't know, put sprinkles on the cake, that's what we're here to do. So, are you guys ready for the challenge? All you need to do is gather 8 items. 8 items. Can you do that? I will list all of the products that I use in the description box below of this video along with the particular categories. For example, I'm going to tell you, go grab your favorite primer. Now, I use 2 primers. You don't have to. I use a skincare focused primer. You may use a mattifying primer. So the primer type will vary. All of these products are based on what makes you feel the best version of you. And so you're going to need, are you ready? I don't know if you want to write it down or maybe you want a screenshot down below in the description box. You're going to need a primer. You're going to need concealer. You're going to need a brow product. Now this brow product must have a color and gel component. Color and gel component is very important and I'll tell you why when we get to that part of the video. You're also going to need a cream blush and a cream highlighter. Now, this is a questionable category of products because cream products can be a little tricky and scary to use. However, when we get into them, I'll tell you why cream is more important than powder at this present moment. You're also going to need, obviously, mascara. Y'all, mascara is just such a magical makeup product that makes such a big difference when it comes to our face. And then the last thing you're going to need is a lip product. And again, that's going to vary based on, are you wearing a face covering? Do you like gloss? Are you a lip chap kind of girl? So I'm going to give you guys a few seconds to gather those products and I'll meet you right back here.
A few moments later.
Welcome back. Are you ready? All right, I'm super excited. I feel like we're doing this together and I feel like all of us have an extra 10 minutes to spare, especially when it comes to our mental health and just feeling better about our day. About 2 weeks ago, Parker and I had to go on date night and it was one of those days where the night before was really rough with our senior pets. You could probably see the main culprit back there. And we had a very, very, very long, very rough night. It was seriously exhausting. And so I was not feeling in the date night kind of mood. And I was like, you know what? I have 10 minutes to spare. Let me do my 10-minute makeup. Y'all, I put it on and I was like, date night, let's do this. You know, it's such a mind trick. And it's so simple and it's with stuff that we have laying around. So why not invest those 10 minutes? I mean, they're the best 10 minutes well spent because they're spent on us. So gather your tools. I know this video won't be 10 minutes and it won't be because I'm gonna tell you the reasoning behind the products that I'm using and why these products are the ones that are important for this type of makeup. We're not trying to bust out the false lashes or the cream contour because a lot of us don't have time for that and there's nothing wrong with it. If you have time for that, I'm a little salty, but some of us don't and maybe some of us aren't even about that kind of makeup life anymore, you know? All right, you guys, so take out your primer. This primer could be a mattifying primer, this could be a moisturizing primer, it could be an illuminating primer. Tarte has a new primer right now that makes your face look glassy and glowy and amazing. You guys see my red eyes? I sleep with my eyes partially open. It's kind of creepy, but they dry out my eyes significantly, so I'm gonna have to put in some drops a little later. I'm using OLEHENRIKSEN's Banana Bright Face Primer. I do cheat a little bit because I use 2 primers, and I noticed that when I'm more skincare focused, when I'm doing my 10-minute makeup, it makes the biggest difference in the world than if I were to slap on like 7 pounds of concealer. Now, don't get it twisted. Girl loves her concealer, y'all. I have so many concealers and I notice as I've gotten older, not all concealers are created equal and not all of them are friendly for my aging skin. So for my personal 10-minute makeup, I'm going in with 2 primers, an illuminating primer with vitamin C, and also a blurring primer. Blurring primers are important because they kind of blur the signs of enlarged pores or if you have significant texture on your skin, and I just focus mine on my chin, basically the center part of my face. And I use my hands to just blend it all out. Again, for your 10-minute makeup, you could be using an illuminating primer like that new one from Tarte. It is so pretty, you guys. I saw one of my favorite bloggers, Courtney Kerr, using it, and her face looks almost like when you go to the beach and you put on sunscreen and you have that really beautiful, healthy, glistening glow. And so you could put that on alone or under your makeup. All right, so we got primer done. It's always very important to give your primer a little bit of time to just chill out and kind of dry. Then we're gonna go in with a concealer. This concealer has to be your shade. Not shades lighter, not shades darker. You guys are looking at my zip ties, aren't you? This is how I rigged my mirror to stop betraying my love and sinking down into the rest of itself. This way it just stays like a tall mirror. One of you guys gave me that idea and I appreciate you for it. So this step is so important. Get a concealer that is a full coverage concealer but is your exact shade. Not a lighter shade, not a darker shade. You don't want one that's like 7 shades light. That's one of my hot takes. I'm going in with Golden Natural from CoverGirl. I do love this concealer because it's completely full coverage like Shape Tape. However, it's not drying like Shape Tape. My skin got a little old and was like, you know what, Dani? Sorry, you can't hang with the cool kids anymore, so you can't use Shape Tape. It's so funny too because I don't have dry skin. I don't have dry skin. Well, it's winter time. Everyone has dry skin right now. And all we're gonna do, let me just take a little bit more. This is gonna be, do you guys see that? I got an inhabitant on my face right now. This is gonna be a very important step. Less is more. That is something that I typically never say because more is more in my book, but less is more because we're going for a skin focused look. You want your skin to just look even and nice, but not like you're wearing foundation. Take a kabuki brush or maybe even a makeup sponge, something that is going to blend out but also gently lift away some of the product to give you a very effortless, I have perfect skin kind of a look. And yes, I do close one eye anytime I put on face products. It's how I roll. See the big difference? It's such a huge difference when you use a concealer that's full coverage, but you don't put it all over your face. If you have a few seconds to spare, look at your face up close, really up close, and make sure that you've blended every place where concealer has touched, because you're not applying it almost like a mask. You're taking a little bit and blending it out. So you want to make sure that it's completely smooth and blended and there's no like finishing line where you stopped applying concealer. So it's important that it's a full coverage concealer and it's important that it's a concealer that dries. Forgot to mention that when I told you guys to grab a concealer. The concealer has to dry. There's a lot of hydrating concealers that never actually dry unless you set them with a powder. There's a lot of concealers that are illuminating or that are medium coverage or light coverage that never actually dry down. You want a concealer that once you blend it out, it actually dries down. Doesn't necessarily have to give you a powdery effect or look or feel, but it actually has to dry. This concealer from CoverGirl is freaking awesome. I would say it's a better version of, say, Shape Tape, especially for those of you that have normal to dry skin. So that one is something that I recommend. If you have severely oily skin or you want your makeup to hold up for, you know, more than I would say 5 or 6 hours, go in with a powder and set your face. I actually don't like to set my entire face. I like my natural oils to come to the surface of the skin, especially because I do use sunscreen, so you know it eventually happens. So I just take a domed synthetic brush and the lightest tap of powder, and I just go in where I applied concealer right on the darkest part of my eyes. So just like a little swoop there and a little swoop here. You guys, my red eyes are driving me bananas. Look at that. Sometimes it goes away when I wake up, other times it lasts all day. So I'm gonna use my Lumify drops. I was actually terrified to use these drops because like anti-redness drops are not good for you. So I called my best friend Sam, who happens to work for a doctor, and I was like, can you ask if these drops are safe? And she's like, oh yeah, we recommend them to our patients all the time. They're like amazing. You guys, watch. Boom, magic. All right, so let's frame our face out. I have talked about this product extensively across all my videos, and you guys know how I feel about Brow Gal from Tarte. You guys, it is the most magical brow product known to a makeup lover. Do you see that little brush? Look at that magical, tiny little baby brush. So this is awesome because there's no fibers in there. There is nothing magical, hocus pocus. It's not brow soap. It's not gonna look like your brows got electrocuted. That's another one of my hot takes. It's pretty awesome, and it comes in a ton of different colors. I like to use 2 different colors, but again, you don't have to. I just like to be very excessive. More is more, except when I'm doing a video like this one and I'm trying to teach you otherwise. So it's important to have a brow product that is color and gel in one. A, because it's going to define your brows. Watch this. It's so important because not only does it define your brows, but it also has a gel. So if you guys actually want that feathery look, you will be able to achieve it with a product like this because it has that built-in gel and color. And if you guys are beast mode ham sandwich, I apply everything with a crazy heavy hand like yours truly. This is a product that really holds your hand throughout the process. And by holds your hand, I don't mean as nice, I mean it forces you to not go overboard because the spoolie is so tiny. So take a brow product, something that has color and gel, and you are going to give yourself a little brow makeover. Something really quick, it's just definition, kind of grooming. You know what it's like? It's like when you don't have to wash your hair that day. I don't know what that's like because I wash my hair every day. Fine hair problems, you guys. I would imagine it's like when you wake up and you're like, oh, today's not a hair washing day, so all I need to do is brush my hair. Same thing. All you're doing is brushing your brows. No big deal. I'll show you guys again how I do it. I go in with the lighter shade, which you don't really need to. I honestly could just pull off the, I think it's medium brown all around. But because I do have sort of a heavy hand, I don't want to look too groucho when it comes to the beginning part of my brows. You see how heavy my hand is? Imagine if that was like a darker brown. We'd be like, Danny, I want to talk to the manager. You know what I mean? Brows make such a world of a difference, but you know what else does? Mascara. And we're going to get to that in a minute. But before we do that, this step is completely optional. It's completely up to you. If you have a shadow stick that is like a champagne color or some sort of shimmery skin tone, your particular skin tone, so it could be like a darker bronzier shade, it could be something that's a little bit deeper than a champagne. I like to go with a shade that is similar to, say, one of my favorite highlighters. I could even go as far as using the same highlighter that I'm going to use on my face. I choose not to just because I really like this one, and so just take any sort of shadow stick if you would like. This is an optional step, which I wanted to make sure that I mentioned because I didn't say to gather this when I told you guys to go run and grab your makeup products. This is completely optional, but whatever cream highlighter you decided to go with is also something that you could use. Now, one thing that I want to make sure I mention is this is not long-lasting makeup. This is not 8, 9, 10 hour makeup. This isn't even probably 6 hour makeup. This is just pick-me-up makeup. This is makeup that is going to change your mood. This is makeup that you could do in a jiffy if you have like a children's party or you want to run some errands and you want to look a little put together. So this is not, again, this is not makeup that is going to last all day. However, it is makeup that is going to start to kind of disappear on your face, but very gracefully. It is makeup that is going to kind of start maybe blending off of your face as the day goes on. So cream blushes, cream highlighters are actually such a friendly product to use once you get the hang of it, because if you get sweaty, if you get oily, they are products that kind of get almost absorbed into your face, as opposed to a powder product that starts to get splotchy. So that's what we're gonna talk about now. I'm gonna let this dry a little bit and we're gonna go in with a synthetic brush and a cream blush. I love this pink blush here in this old Stila palette. It's probably expired, but who's judging? And so I'm gonna take like a dusky, sort of mauvey rose shade because I feel like it's the most forgiving and the one that kind of blends off of my face a lot more gracefully than any other shade, like say a coral or a deeper, more purpley shade, say like a more burgundy rose. And I really love using it with a synthetic brush because it doesn't leave any like harsh strokes or weird blendiness on your face. If you accidentally grab too much, just have a paper towel or a towel nearby. And all you're doing is like a bumping motion, and you're going to focus it all on this area. Remember, no harsh lines. We're also not contouring, so you don't need to go crazy on trying to blend. I call it the Neapolitan sandwich. You know, when you do the highlighter, the blush, and the contour. You don't have to worry about that because we're not doing all those steps. And these are cream products. They're super forgiving. You can just blend away. If you mess up, you could always try again. You know, it's not something that's totally gonna mess up your look. And that's another reason why I don't like to put on powder, because powder and cream products, it's a little bit more of a harder application to achieve. And your girl isn't a pro. All right, so blush is done. You saw how quickly that went down. Then we're gonna go in with a cream highlighter. This is totally up to you. It could be the one, you could use the same brush, you could use the same eyeshadow stick and just bump it out with your fingers. You could use a liquid illuminator. So many brands right now have liquid illuminators that are so pretty. So I'm going in with Kitten from Stila and another synthetic brush, but like I said, you could literally use the same brush. It won't make a big difference at all. And we're just gonna put that pretty liberally. The good thing about cream blushes is that they're very blendy and they only look excessive in the best way possible if like direct light hits your face. Otherwise, it just looks like you're glowy, but it's nothing crazy. When you go in with a powder highlight, it's a lot more intentional. You know, the application of it is a lot more intentional. The glow is a lot more intentional. When you go in with like a cream, do you see that? With like a cream product, it's a lot more blendy or forgiving. Now, you guys know that I love highlighter. I love cream highlighters. I love powder highlighters. I love all kinds of highlighters. It's rare that I meet a highlighter I don't like. And so, especially with a look like this, you could be a little more liberal when it comes to your highlighter application because you already have that natural glow from wearing a cream blush, from not wearing excessive foundation, from probably not using powder. So it's all gonna look glowy and fresh and healthy, just like natural skin glow, you know, like a natural skin glisten. My favorite part is mascara, and this is where you could go super crazy or you could be super just separating and lengthening. When it comes to mascara, like for me, I'm like, I want the drama. I want it to look like a mama and a papa spider crawled on my face and just nested on my eyes. Like, I love big, dramatic, chunky black lashes. Now, for this kind of look, you could basically run the gamut on any kind of mascara look that is your preference. So reach for the mascara that you love. I'm sorry, did you think I was kidding when I said that I wanted a family of spiders to crawl on my eyelashes and live there forever? This is the look I'm going for. Listen, to each their own. I may have said that electrocution brows are not my favorite, but spidery lashes might not be your favorite. So it's makeup, and that's the beauty of it. We get to do whatever we want with our own faces. So now the very last thing that we have to do is lips. This is a big concept to consider because wherever we go, we have to wear facial coverings, right? And so you have options. I guess I should mention which mascara I used. This is the Big Papa mascara from Wet n Wild. It is freaking awesome, and this is just 2 coats. It's one of those mascaras that you gotta work really quickly or it will get clumpy, but it's also one of those mascaras that is so easy to remove with just water. It's freaking awesome. Anyway, last step is lipstick. What are you gonna put on your lips? You wanna consider that we have to wear facial coverings if we're gonna leave our house to go anywhere. So, are you wearing this makeup to leave your house? Are you wearing this makeup just to feel pretty? Like, what's the deal? Like, what's your plan? If you're just gonna be hanging out at the house, I would just throw on chapstick like I did right now. This is Kosas Sport Baseline. It is one of my favorite chapsticks. However, if you wanna feel really, really cute and glitzy and maybe, I don't know, sparkly, then you can go in with a really beautiful tawny shade of gloss, like a pinkish nude. This is Dawn from Lauren Conrad Beauty. It's one of my recent favorite lip glosses, and I like it because it's more of like a gel base, so there's literally no stickiness to it. However, if you're going to use this look to leave the house, but you still want to have something on your lips, I would suggest you running out to grab a lip stain. Lip stain are one of those products that I feel you either love or hate, or they also make you feel juvenile, like you were 13 again and you're trying out Benetint for the first time and you look a little crazy because you didn't apply it the right way. You'll know what I'm talking about. We've all done it. We've all done the mishap, too pink or too rosy lip stain. We've all done it. And no one's talking about it. Everyone right now is talking about our skinny jeans and side parts. But that's okay. So when it comes to a lip stain, they come in colors now. They come in a variety of shades. My favorite one is called Makeout from Buxom. This is a beautiful mauvey shade. In fact, this is the reason why I wore this shirt, because it's the same exact color. And the cool thing about this stain is that it looks glossy, but even if you blot it, it stays glossy, but it doesn't transfer. It's kind of a really, really, really cool lip product. It is buildable, it defines your lips, and it comes in many different colors. So let me show you guys the close-up. That's how intense it looks on the doe foot applicator, but if I show you guys a swatch, do you see how sheer it is? So it's very sheer, but you can actually build it up. And even when you build it up, it still doesn't get super, super, super dark. So one of my favorites, I've gone through 2 of them already. And when's the last time you say, like, you could think of that you finished a lip product, you know? Anyway, I wanted to share this video with you guys because I was feeling pretty crummy the other day and I really did not want to make myself feel good or look good. I was like, God, who has the energy to put on makeup? But I think that when our mind goes there to putting on makeup, we think about all the million products and steps involved, and it doesn't have to. But there is one rule that is super important aside from these 8 products that you need to have already in your collection. And that rule is that you have to be pretty. You have to have a good looking face to do this video, but the good news is that that is all of you. There is beauty in everyone's face, and finding the 8 products that are going to make us feel awesome in just 10 minutes, it's literally like one of the best days of your life. Everyone has an extra 10 minutes. All of us want to feel great about ourselves. All of us love makeup. That's how we ended up here. But times change, priorities change, our life changes, and so should our makeup routine. So something that we enjoyed back then shouldn't be something we can't enjoy now, but just through a different lens. In a way that it is relevant to us now, because if it's relevant now, it's important and we'll make time for it and we will thank ourselves for it. I'll make sure to list all of these categories of products in the description box below, along with the particular particular products that I used. So remember, like if you want a mattifying primer, that would be the primer that you go for. If you want an illuminating primer or like an SPF primer, those are your priorities. But in a nutshell, these are basically the 8 steps that are gonna help you achieve a 10-minute makeup look and feel like a fly boss. You know what I mean? Okay, maybe not. Maybe you just feel cute, but that's okay, because that counts too. So if you guys enjoyed this video, or if you know someone that would enjoy a video like this one, please make sure to be subscribed, to share, to like this video, share with your friends. But I think that's it. I love you guys so much, and you know what to do. If you found this video useful, entertaining, and learned something, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, this coffee break is over. Bye guys!